Hey, Flowmies, it's time for another edition of the ITF Flowcast. So this week we are talking with Amy Jo Johnson. She is one of the owners of A&B Window Cleaning out in Fargo, North Dakota. Has a great story. It comes from a window cleaning family. Her and her brother run the business now. But she just talks a little bit about some of the challenges of starting up, some of the things that she's faced. She also, in case you didn't know, she was the winner of the women's division of the Speed Cleaning Competition at the IWCA convention that we just had earlier this year. So anyway, she's a great interview. You're going to enjoy getting to know her a little better. So let's listen in as we talk to Amy. Hey, Flowmies. Well, we have Amy Jo Johnson with us. Thank you so much for joining. How are you doing?
I am good. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, we are so happy to have you. You're someone I've been wanting to interview ever since the last convention because we got some cool things to talk about there. I won't spoil it for those who don't know yet, but so you are one of the owners of A&B Window Cleaning in North Dakota, correct?
Yep, that's correct, along with my brother AJ. So
Awesome.
yes.
So was this was a family affair from the beginning, or how did you guys fall into window cleaning?
Yeah, so my parents actually started the business back in around 95, 96. And before that, he had kind of gotten into it a little bit. And then my dad retired in 2017. So AJ and I took over from there. So
Awesome. Now,
yeah.
did you guys both want to do that, or did you guys feel obligated because it was a family business?
Maybe a little of both, but
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, we both love it. We've loved it. We've been a part of it for so long. So yeah, it was just kind of felt like the right thing to do. So
Very cool. And so how many years now, just you and AJ?
so now this is our going on our 6th year of running it, and yeah, our 26th year total in business. So yeah.
Very cool. And how's it working out with the dynamics? Like, you guys split it evenly? Does one person have more responsibility, or what do you guys how do you guys work it out?
So generally we do like to split it out 50-50. I do a lot of the more of the admin side, a lot of the paperwork side, and he loves to have those in-face conversations and he likes to get out there, and
Gotcha.
I'm fine with him doing that. So
Very cool. Well, that's good that you guys can work it out. Family members can't always work together. My wife worked with me for a little while, and in the beginning, it was kind of it was eh. She
yes.
ended up going back to working. She had admin experience, and back then, it was just me, so it really didn't need any admin help.
Hmm.
But then later on, she came back, and that time she came. I think it's also because I got kind of knew what I was doing now as a business owner, and I
Hmm.
knew exactly how we could work together. Whereas I think in the beginning we were both kind of feeling it out, like, kind of didn't know where our place was. But when she came back the second time, I mean, it was so nice. We worked together so well. She's
Oh.
such a hard worker. She has the same work
Hmm.
ethic as me. And then we know each other so well. So we could kind of read each other's minds as we're in a house, and we just blast
Yes.
it out. But then she started having issues with her arthritis in her wrists,
Oh yeah.
and
Yep.
it just wasn't working out. So she had to get out of the field. And so she's been
Yeah.
admin ever since. But
Wow.
yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome
That's
that you
awesome.
guys are working together. So what
Yeah.
is the market like out there?
Oh, it's been absolutely crazy here, as it's been really hard to sit down with you, so it's been absolutely nuts up here. I don't know what happened, but our residential side just exploded over the last couple years, especially with COVID. I think people were
Mm,
working from home, and you know the gist of
yes.
that. So
Yeah, yeah.
it
They're sitting
just
there at their computers and, man, my windows look filthy out there. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it's been exploding.
I imagine you guys slowed down with the snow.
We do a little bit, the residential side definitely slows down a little bit, and then our some of our interior commercial stuff picks up. So we're still pretty constant up here. We're
Mm-hmm.
still hanging from buildings in the snow. So
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
So
Well, so tell us
yeah.
about that. So how much, what percentage do you guys do, like, the commercial drops and for your business?
Um, I would say it's about 50%. So we do
Oh,
about
wow.
50. Yeah, so it's pretty even split. We do have a lot of commercial, and Fargo, we don't have a lot of skyscrapers or anything
Sure,
like that,
sure.
but we do the majority, I think, of kind of our higher buildings in the area and travel a little bit. So
Okay. Very cool. And that,
yeah.
so 50-50 split. So do you guys have different workers like, do you guys have like divisions, or does everybody kind of do a little bit of everything?
Depending on the time of the year, if we're incredibly busy, we're kind of all going back and forth. As we slow down maybe a little bit, we have kind of our team that does do most of the high rise or commercial, and then a residential side that will kind of split up a little bit. So,
Okay,
yeah.
very cool. So was that, I guess the way I would phrase it is this the way you guys ran the business from when your parent owned it, or did you guys kind of, after you got control, you're like, no, we're going to organize this a little more. We're going to streamline this and make this more efficient.
Yeah, we definitely had to make a few changes. I think things that worked, back in the 90s and things like
Hmm.
that are just not working now. So we did make some changes, and it used to be where we took our whole team and we were all on one project,
Hmm.
and you could get away with that then. And now it's like, yeah, we got to split up a little bit now. We got to
Yeah.
start kind of breaking off a little. So, yeah, definitely a lot of changes. And back then, I don't think my dad liked to do the commercial route, so the monthly route. And now I think
Hmm.
we're kind of getting into that a little more, that consistent monthly income there too.
Nice. So it's working for you there. You guys
Yeah.
are able to get now. What's like percentage wise? What are you making commercial versus residential? Because like out and where I live, it's a big difference. I mean, it's like set. What I can make in a commercial job, I can make three times that on a residential. What's it like in Fargo?
Yeah, I would say it's definitely similar, especially on some of our bigger residentials. We're definitely able to make a little more on those. And then some of our commercials kind of split out too. We have your route jobs, which,
Hmm.
yeah, they're a little bit less. And then our high rise jobs where we're definitely making a little more on those. So I think
Well,
there
you
is a
better hope
good
so.
balance. Yeah, right, right. Yeah. I think it does kind of balance it out though between the two. So, yeah.
And how many techs now?
So we have six now. So still the little mighty engine that could is what we call ourselves. So
Very cool. Well, no, that's,
yep,
that's what we like to hear because I mean that's the
yep,
majority of window cleaners are like five techs and below.
that's
The
awesome.
majority
Yep.
either single owner operator and so it's nice
Hmm.
that you guys are able to handle such a load, being a small group because we're about, well, we're six techs now, but I'm getting ready to hire a
Awesome.
seventh. And we'll see if that works out because we're right now is our busy season, so we're swamped and we'll be
Hmm.
swamped until the end of December, and then we slow down
Wow.
a little bit in January, and then we pick up again once spring cleaning comes, and then we're busy till the summer, which is our next slow season.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
so what do you guys do for training then? Do you guys train in house? Do you guys hire someone? I mean, because I know safety with being high rise, that's a huge thing that you got to be concerned with.
Yeah, absolutely. So back in 17, we worked with an individual out of the IWCA, and he actually was out of Minneapolis,
Hmm.
and John Araguen, and he was
Oh yeah.
phenomenal. Yep, and he came to us. He trained us in, and then we hold our monthly training
Hmm.
in house, and we train all of our guys on everything that we've learned. We've obviously updated our training now with the IWCA, which has been phenomenal,
Cool.
and just such a great team there to work with. So we love that. We love getting that updated information, and then we pass it on to our team at home.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yes,
So do you take all of your techs to the conventions?
we did actually last year.
Oh wow.
And it was awesome because one of our guys have been with us for a really long time, and he's just like family now. So it
Mhm.
was cool that we got to kind of take everybody with last year and kind of make it a family trip, if
Yeah,
you will, and really enjoy that time. So, yeah, it was
very
cool.
cool. So how long have you been in the IWC?
We have been in for, I want to say, 4 years now. I think I have to check, maybe three. Um, and we've been down to two of the conventions now, and
Okay.
it's amazing. So,
Yeah. What
yes.
did what did you like about it? What kind of stood out with for you?
Um, just learning. I love to learn. I love to constantly just educate myself. So I think that's the biggest piece, is that they're so willing to just teach you everything that they know. Everybody is willing to share information, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I found that as well. I think it's kind of a neat environment where, generally you've got business owners who are successful. They're very guarded in what they know.
Yes.
And they don't want people to know their secrets or their their
Hmm.
techniques or how they do it. They want to kind of port it, and then you go to the IWCA, and it's like the total opposite. It's like you can't
Yes.
get people to shut up about the stuff that they're doing to help them make money,
It,
And
yeah. Yeah, it was a breath of fresh air almost, because you get in your community and there's your competitors and everybody's
Mhm.
like, oh, don't talk to them, and there's enough work to go around for
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah, for sure.
So, but yeah, it was a breath of fresh air to talk to everybody else who is in this field of work and to get the tips and knowledge. So
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. Now, what classes did you take that kind of made the biggest difference for you?
Um, Definitely, rope descent, obviously for us was a big one, and
Hmm.
just learning those new safety techniques and the new equipment that's coming out. We use the same descenders
Oh, okay.
forever, 20 years, and then all of a sudden, we get into the IWCA and our minds are blown with all the new equipment, so and that was very cool just to get that. And I think just hearing some of the financial meetings and team building is such a big one,
Yeah.
um, that we've really incorporated a lot of that into our practice. So,
So with your six techs, how when was the last time you had a new hire?
April.
April. Okay, so relatively
Yeah.
recent. Before
Yes.
then,
Oh, she's before then. Holy
been a
buckets.
while.
Yeah, it was about 2 years, I bet, and we
Okay,
were
that's awesome.
stuck on. Yeah.
See, I like to hear that because when you know you've got your newest crew member has been 2 years out, but even I mean everyone's got to hire once in a while. But when you hear that's 2 years, that means it's a nice environment. So you
Yeah.
mentioned team building. Um, I think people they can easily take for granted the good the good rapport that their techs have. And if you
Yes.
don't work at team building, then that can sometimes go by the wayside when you're not looking.
Oh,
For
yes.
sure. Yeah, they
Hmm.
had some really nice classes there. I learned a lot from the admin side because I don't come from an admin background. I'm service industry, right? So I'm used to serving people. I'm
Hmm.
good at customer service, talking with customers, making sure their needs are met, those types of things. But then all the organization part, I really
Yeah.
learned a lot from the IWC classes about
Yes.
being efficient and trying to minimize waste as much as possible. Because when I still have to fight my waste urges. It's not gone away. I'm a spender guy. Oh, that looks cool.
Yeah.
Spend it. That's cool. Spend,
Well, like
get it
this.
on the
Yeah.
card. And so I learned quite a bit. That's awesome. So
Yes.
what else? Because you're an active member of the IWCA. What are you participating in?
So right now I just jumped onto the safety committee because it's something that's incredibly important to me, and especially with doing high rise. I haven't been able to really jump in yet because it's been so crazy up here, but I hope to kind of really dabble in that and really help out any way I can, especially being in the high rise pretty regularly. You get familiar with a lot of those things. So if I can help out or if I can get information to keep our team safe, that's definitely something that I am really passionate about.
Oh, very
So,
cool. Have you thought
mhm.
about maybe running like to be a board member?
Yeah, I would love to. So I would absolutely love to do that eventually. I like I said, I gotta learn the ropes still in there in
Well,
that
I,
arena,
I
but
I predict you are 1 year away from being on the board. That's just my prediction. So you're going to
that
get
would
on
be
the safety
awesome.
committee. They're going to get busy. They're going to see what a good asset you are, and I bet you're going to be in the running for next
That
nominee
would be
because I
cool.
think they're just about finishing up this
Are
year's
they really?
nominations. Yeah,
Okay.
so they
Wow,
had
that would
put
be
out.
cool.
Yeah, so I think that's my prediction. So it's in the books, it's on
Thanks.
YouTube. And when you are, then I'll go
Thanks.
back, I'll play it, and I'll just bask in my own glory of prediction power. So,
That sounds
very cool.
awesome. I
Well,
hope so.
very
That'd be
good.
really cool. I would
Yeah,
love
yeah.
it.
Well,
So,
well, the other reason I wanted to have you on, just one is to get to know you, and for the Flomies to get to know you better, because you have been a Flomie for a while, even if you like you said you're busy and don't get to participate as much as you have. But
mhm.
you were the winner of the female speed competition of this last IWC convention. So first of all,
Yes.
congrats.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
I
very much.
videotaped you I
Yes.
videotaped the winning run. So I was right there when it happened. It was very exciting. So
So
tell me,
fun.
run through that. So did you go to the convention planning on entering it?
Yeah, so last the previous convention I was in it, I was so scared. It was our first one. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And Kevin talked me into it. I was like, okay, I'm in. I'll just do it for fun, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, ended up getting second. And so this year I was like, okay, I'm doing this. I'm doing it this year. We're going to come back. Uh, and they got a little tighter with some of the, the
Yes,
errors and things, which I
yes,
get it. So it was
yes.
really tough. It was tough, but it was a lot of fun. So yep, woman's fastest window cleaner. Very cool.
That is awesome. Do you have the belt? You don't have the belt handy?
I was just at the shop office and I had it and I was like, oh shoot, yes. So
That's okay. Well, you send me a
yes,
picture. We'll put it in the
yes,
comments here so people can
I
see
will.
the belt. So tell me now, when you did the winning run, did you know that was the winner?
I didn't actually. I
Okay.
was like, no, I thought I
Who
left a ton of mistakes.
who were you worried about? Because there was
Um,
most of the female, it wasn't real tight, but there was like two other ones who I thought were going to give you a run. Yeah.
Lamb. I was really worried. Joel's wife was coming in.
Hmm.
She did so well. I thought she gave me a run for my money for sure. So I thought for sure she was coming in there.
Yeah, yeah. But you
So
were right about it being tight, and I placed second. And I
yes,
still to this day insist I beat Joel because Joel did win.
yes, you did.
But
I
the
know.
reason why I was in the running, because I was not the fastest by any means, but
Me
they
either.
told me they're getting tight on the air. So I was much more meticulous than I was. Cause I've
Yep.
done it 2 other years where I competed. And the first year I did, I think the best. But I think Jeremiah won that year. Jeremiah Hickey
Yep.
won.
Yep.
And he just beat the snot out of everybody.
Yeah.
So I had no chance there. But I think that was my best run. But this year,
Mhm.
because they were being so tight, so many people were eliminated who were faster, or at least they were given a lot of
Yeah.
penalties that they wouldn't have been in
Yes.
previous years. So I snuck up there to the second. But I
Good.
really took my time and I just went, I was faster than like probably a normal person, but I
Yep.
wasn't definitely not any world record consideration on my part. I just didn't make mistakes. So I knew
Yeah.
as long as I didn't make too many mistakes, I would stay in the running on that. So
Yep.
yeah,
That was my
I
focus.
and I think and you hit on something too, and I think this is because whenever we post videos, it never fails. ITF is such a positive environment until you post speed cleaning videos, and you get people who nitpick and oh, I could do that way faster, and oh, there's those, and you don't realize one, like you said, you're using equipment you don't normally use, and
Right.
that glass is weird. It's not. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's not normal
I
glass.
know. There
It
was
like
no.
grips. It's not
Yes.
slick. It's not slick, and you don't get to use any. It's their soap, so it's not the
Yep.
soap to the way you like it. So you don't got the glide that you're used to. You're using
That's
a
so true.
rubber that's not the rubber you're used to, and then the frame it like sticks. It catches. It's like
Oh,
it's got the screws on the outside. So
yes.
when you're kind of going on the line of the frames, it's very easy to get caught on that. Not
Yes.
to mention, there's like 1,000 people watching you, and you're in front.
Yes.
You've got the spotlight on you, and all these people are
Yes.
yelling and cheering. And it's like, no, no, no. If you've never done it, you don't get to critique and you don't get to say how fast you are, because
Nothing.
until you're
No.
in front of a crowd and you've got those set of limitations, you don't know what it's like because it is
Right.
way
Mhm.
tougher. It is way tougher than what you think. And
Yes.
and even with the medley, the medley, you get to take a little more time on it. And I mean, you psych yourself out. You can psych yourself
Yes.
out so easy. So,
Hmm.
anyways,
Yes.
congrats to you. You had
Thank
some
you
tight
so much.
competition. Next year, I want to see you and Brandy up against each other. Brandy won the year
Yes.
before. That's.
Yes.
I know Brandy's like, no, I want it. I want to let some other people. I'm gonna push her. Brandy,
She
you have to
should.
go up against Amy. That's going to be
Yep.
like the heavyweight, hitters of the century. So we'll see how
Brandy.
that
Yep.
competition goes.
Brandy, we're signing you up.
Yep, yep. There's no choice. Sorry, you've been outvoted. Now,
That'll be fun.
so tell me a little bit about what your guys' goal for your company is. Are you guys where you want to be? Are you guys looking to grow, or what do you guys want to do for the future?
We definitely would like to grow a little more. We did dabble in some house washing, and so we've kind of added that to the mix a little bit. It's become very popular up here. I think it's
Oh,
become
good.
popular everywhere.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we would like to grow a little more and just see what we can do with it. And yeah, I'm always up for, like I said, growing and learning and challenges. I love all of that. So
Well,
we do
we
want to.
we Yeah, we just added soft washing and pressure washing to our
Awesome.
services. We haven't really pushed it yet because right now we're in
Hmm.
our super busy season. So I was like, you know what, let's just get through the window cleaning that we know we can do and we know we have the work.
Hmm.
And then once January comes, we're going to start really pushing and try to sell it to our current customers first. Let's let
Yes.
them know that this is a service we offer, and
Hmm.
then go outward to the city. But yeah, so how is that, like, when did you start it and how has been the reception for soft washing?
Awesome. So we actually started very lightly, like you did. Like I said, we just kind of lightly pushed it. We were busy when we started, and that was about a year and a half ago.
Mhm.
And then now this year we tried something different. So we actually put a flyer out to our current customers and we gave them an option. So, okay, here you go. Here's package A with just your basic window cleaning. B, C, we gave them options. Then we threw in that house washing, like, here, do you want to add this to your exterior window clean or vice versa? And it blew up. So just this
Oh,
little flyer.
nice.
Yeah, this flyer took us, an hour to put it together and, another hour to get it mailed out, whatever, actually just exploded. So it was a really good
Wow.
thing that we used for that and it just took off this year. So it was great. And we hope that we can kind of keep that going. So
Very
and that
cool.
was just yeah. So
That's a really good idea. I'm going to keep that in mind when we
yes.
start pushing it. So you mailed it.
Yeah.
You mailed a flyer with
We
the time.
did. Kind of
That's
old
great.
school. We did. Yep, we did an
Yeah.
old school method.
Well,
Yeah.
I think a lot of those old school methods, especially with I don't know how your clientele is, but ours definitely skews older. It skews,
Yep.
55 and
Mhm.
up.
Yep.
So those old school methods still do work with them. They're used to that. In
Yes.
fact, when it happens, they actually kind of get happy because they miss letters, and like we try to write cards
Yes.
to our clients.
We
We
do
definitely
too.
do send emails and text, just kind of updates. But when we want to express our thanks, we always try to do it in a card because that just means more. It shows
Yes.
that you're
Oh,
thinking of them and you took the effort to do that, and it means more to them too. So that's really cool. And so,
yeah.
do you guys have a rig, or how are you guys doing soft washing?
Yeah, so we have a couple of different rigs. So we have our soft wash rig that we got actually at the last IWCA. We really were just
Oh, there you
we took
go.
some classes and we learned, and we're like, okay, this is the one. And then we have another setup that we use for our flat work and our heat treated. So obviously up here we have a lot of ice
Oh, sure,
dams, and
sure,
we have a
sure.
good rig for that. So we have two different kind of rigs running for that and going. It's going well, I think. So we'll see. It might, like I said, it's really picked up around here, so we might have to add just another team or system for that because it's picked up so much. But
That's awesome. Very
yeah.
cool. Well, another question I do like to ask, and I hate to ask it only because it's kind of silly to me, but I think it does mean a lot to
Mhm.
other female business owners. And window cleaning is definitely a more male dominated field, as a lot of
Mhm.
the you know service industry type fields are. So what has your feeling been in the window cleaning industry as a female owner, compared to like when you first started to now? How has your transition been? Have you had any hiccups, or do you feel like it's just been like you've been treated like with respect, and everything has kind of gone smoothly?
That's a good question because in the beginning it was really hard. I'm working with my brother. Number one, I'm short and a female. My brother is tall and male, and so it's really hard because a lot of people immediately direct the conversation to him. And so it was very hard for the
Mhm.
first couple of years to really get in on those conversations and be a part of that conversation. It took a little, I think it did take a little extra work for me to really get up there. I already have a quiet voice too. So building
Mhm.
that confidence really helped to get in on those conversations and be a part of that and really, I guess, make myself known in that arena a little more. So there was a little more work as far as that goes, but then that respect did come because again, I guess I'm a female in the service industry, which is dominated by males. And then they're like, okay, you can do this, can't you?
Mhm.
Yes, So yeah, there was a little pushback in the beginning, but it's coming along. So
Yeah.
very
Now,
well.
did you find it more difficult in the customer relation aspect, or in the industry aspect where you're dealing with other business owners or other people who, have, like with IWCA or with other,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm even talking like in Facebook groups. I think a lot of,
Yeah.
of female owners really, it's like they kind of they get abused in a lot of these Facebook groups just by people
Mhm.
who, I don't know, they think it's a joke or something.
Yes,
But
yeah.
what do you think was the hardest for you?
Absolute hardest was a lot of businesses, and they'd be run by males. So like, yep, a lot of those conversations were, "Where's AJ at? I want to talk to AJ,"
Mhm.
or let me talk to your brother. Residential side, those always went well. I think I had a really good connection with a lot of our residential customers, and I could have that one-on-one conversation a little bit differently. But a lot of construction projects and things like that were difficult at first. So yeah,
Very
took a
cool.
little extra work.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm glad that you shared your feelings. I know I've had the same conversation with like Sarah Vandermeer and
Yeah.
Brandy as well. From the
Hmm.
IWCA. I've talked with her about it. And it's frustrating because that it's even brought up. But like you said, I mean, Brandy has funny stories about people like coming to whoever the male tech is and start talking to them, and they're like, "Oh no, you need to talk to Brandy. She's the
Yep.
boss. I don't make any of those decisions." But like you said, it takes a little bit of a mental adjustment on their part to not just
Yep.
automatically assume that, oh, here's the male on the team, they must be the one in charge. So well,
Yep.
I'm glad that things have worked out, but
Yeah.
it's like anything. I mean, I I'm pretty appreciative that I didn't have to deal too much with being Hispanic. I'm from
Yeah.
Mexican
Yep.
descent. I don't speak Spanish. I speak very
Hmm.
little, nothing that would ever fool anybody. But and I'm in Tucson, so there is a lot of Chicano representation here. So it's not kind of out of the ordinary. But
Hmm.
I would notice sometimes I'd go to certain customers, and it was usually the husbands who would, when I brought a white tech,
Yep.
they were way more chummier with them than us. I mean, it's a minor thing. It's not a big deal. It's one of those things that you just kind of, well,
But
that's
it
just the way
is.
the world is. But you
Yep.
just wish it didn't have to be.
I
Thankfully,
really do. Hmm.
yeah, thankfully, it's like you said, the more you work and the more you're known, then the less you have to deal with that, because you kind of have earned the respect. And
Yep.
you're just a window clean. You're not identified with anything else,
Yes.
or a
Yep.
business owner. So that's really
Yep.
cool.
Yes.
Very cool. Well, now you've been in. When did you join ITF? When were you become a part of ITF?
I would say that was right after we went to that the convention 2 years ago. So we joined
Oh,
like
nice.
during, yeah.
Okay.
So yep, we just joined in then, and I like, oh, where has this been my whole life?
Very
And
cool. So
yeah.
what do you particularly like about? Because I ask this a lot with Flowmies, and everyone seems to have a different answer. I think there's different aspects that appeal to people with ITF.
I really like that, again, just like IWCA, everyone is so willing to share information and help you out. You could be in a dilemma or have an issue with something and throw it on there, and everybody is like, okay, here's what I did, and you can kind of give and take. And I just love that everyone is so open to sharing knowledge. Like,
Yeah.
it's really nice.
Very cool. Yeah, and we appreciate having people from all different aspects, because like you're in North Dakota. I probably wouldn't have any good advice to give someone if they were asking about working in the snow or working in the
Yes.
cold environment. Whereas someone like yourself, you'd have a bunch of advice. And I think that's what's so cool is we're so spread
Hmm.
out.
Yes.
We've talked about having like Flomy meetups in some area where
Oh,
we could just have like a get together, but we're so spread out. We're still working.
I
Like
know.
I think we can have a good one in Texas, because we have quite a few
Yeah.
Flomies in Texas. We got quite a good chunk in California as well. That would be another one. And then they were
Hmm.
talking about maybe a northeast one, kind of the New
Oh,
England
yeah.
area. We have quite a few up there. But yeah, we were trying to get more in the Midwest where we could have some meetup. And because I mean, it's one thing to be online, and I think that's great. But when you get a chance
Hmm.
to be with people
Ah,
like at the conventions, at the IWC conventions, then that's
yes,
kind of a cool thing, to be able
it
to
is.
to rub shoulders with people who
Yes.
kind of gone through the same thing as you
Yep.
have.
Share some
So
window cleaning humor.
exactly.
Mhm.
So anything else going on with you, Amy? Anything that you want to share that's kind of exciting for you besides your
Ah,
upcoming defending of your title?
Yeah, right. That's coming up quick. We're just trugging along here over in Fargo, and we got snow coming. So we're just trying to gear up for that. Nothing really crazy. We're just getting through the season. So,
Well,
yeah.
awesome. Well, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Yes.
I had a really nice conversation, and again,
Thank you.
just I know we had to work through a lot to finally meet up, but I'm
Yes.
so glad that not only I get to know you better, but the Flowmies get to know you better too. So,
Yes.
well,
Super excited. Thank
you
you.
take care, and look forward to your further growth with your company. And we want to
Yes.
thank you, Flowmies, as well. Thanks for listening in. We hope you guys have a great weekend, and as always, flow on.